Hey, Govcon Giants, Eric Coffie, your host, and today's guest, Marvina Case. This is a little bit different from our traditional episodes. By the way, this is the Govcon Giants podcast where we teach everyday people how to win extraordinary contracts. If this is your first time visiting us, we interview SBA award winners, DoD contract winners, 8A companies, small businesses, emerging small businesses of all types, bringing on here showcasing their skill sets, their tools, all the things that they did to go from zero to hero. And so we like to feature guests that essentially help you figure out how to grow your business in the world of federal contracting. However, today's guest is a special one, Marvina Case, her CEO of a company called Sweetspot.ai, and she helps people, processes, and transform digitally. And I can tell you an example of what she did for my company internally. Just after meeting with her, Marvina helped give us the ideas for how to streamline our systems, because what we were doing wrong, which like a lot of small businesses are doing, we kept stacking technology on top of technology on top of technology, and it made it really confusing, and we had a lot of redundant systems internally for how we operate. And for those who don't know this, on top of the podcast and the YouTube channel, we also do consulting and coaching and trying to do contracts. So as you can imagine, having multiple CRM systems, multiple places where we store information was a bit confusing. And so just after a couple of calls with Marvina, she helped us start to put together our processes and procedures so we can come together and have on a more united front for my team. And so that's just a little bit about what she does. Stay tuned for this upcoming episode to find out how she can help transform your business digitally with Marvina Case. Hey, Govcon Giants. My name is Eric Coffie, your host, and today I want to introduce you to Miss Marvina Case. Marvina, how are you today?
I am wonderful, Eric. How about yourself?
I'm doing great. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for agreeing to come onto our show and share what it is that you do and how you help small businesses. I know that we spoke a little bit offline before we hit the record button, and you were telling me exactly what it is that you do and why you're getting into, I don't want to steal your glory, but you're getting to why if people are not successful, it's kind of their own fault. So can you start off with that?
Oh, you're going to put me on the spot from the get-go.
You know what? I love it so much. I said, no. We got to capture this on camera. So share with us, talk to us.
I help people by helping them help themselves, because you can't help someone who does not want to be helped or want to be successful. I have the philosophy and the belief that if you're born in this country, greatness is just a step away. You have to have tenacity. You have to be willing to put the effort in. And there are people out there that are more than willing to help you. People like me. What I do is I actually offer free classes on Facebook and LinkedIn for people to sign up for, and I teach them how to be a government contractor. There are a lot of free programs out there that you can use, but they're set up for the masses, and most people need individualized help. I like to help women, minorities, military veterans specifically, become successful, because there are set asides there for us to get business from the big boys. And if we want to come up in the world, we have to put the effort in. So I don't believe in the American dream, because I don't think it's a dream. It's a reality for those that are willing to put the effort in and have the tenacity.
Ooh, I like that. That's nice. All right. No, so getting back to that, tell us the name of your company and your website.
Sure. We are Sweetspot, and our website is SwētSPOT.ai. It only has one E because it has a line over it, which makes it the phonetic spelling of sweet.
Now tell me, where did you get Sweetspot, the name, from?
In all honesty, it came up because I started thinking about what is the issue. I've worked for many companies. I've set up companies in 42 countries. And wow. I started thinking, what's the issue with every company? What's the problem? Where is the issue at? And the sweet spot is that most people don't know how to connect people, process, and technology. So when I thought about it, I was like, that's the sweet spot, a solution that will connect people, process, and technology. And that's how the name came about.
And I love that. And I hope today that we're going to be able to, by the time we're finished, we're going to help people be able to connect people, processes, and technology. Because one of the things that I did notice, and you did mention that you
you said your human powered AI driven infrastructure as a solution. So I definitely want to talk about how you connect the technology, because even myself, I'm good at my processes, but technology, I'm really pretty bad at. So let's talk about you saying how you integrate it.
What we do is we make sure that everything stays people-centric, which is something that a lot of technologies try to get away with machine learning and artificial intelligence. They want to get away from humans. We don't need to get away from humans. We just need to properly utilize machine learning and AI with human power. Because at the end of the day, people buy from people. People have relationships with people, whether that's online, in person, via text, over the phone. You're talking to a live person. When you get a machine, it changes your view. So the idea is to use the machine in order to help aid, to provide better customer service, better customer experience, to help you with communication, to help you on the back end with your infrastructure of maintaining that data. But at the end of the day, we all want to deal with the person. So the person is the key to our solution, which is why we say we connect people, process, and technology.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Tell us a little bit about your background. You said you set up businesses in 42 countries. Can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Yes, I went to Purdue University, and I started in engineering. I decided I didn't like engineering because, no offense to my super technical nerdy friends and coworkers, it's a little boring and dry. So I wanted to do something that allowed me to stay involved in technology, but to bring in my culture, my experience, and my personality. So sales became something I became good at. And I started working in technology sales. And I was very good at looking at the situation and finding out how to make the solution better, the process better, and the operations of the organization, both internally and externally, better. So I would explain to people that you need to consider me an extension of your company at my company, because that's what my role is. I'm here to help you grow. If you're not successful, I'm not successful. I started doing that for a company called Integrated Information Systems when I got out of school. And I did so well at it that they asked me to work with their partners. So I started working with their partners. And after that, I ended up, my husband and we got pregnant, and I decided that I wanted to spend time with my child. So I left the company that I was working for and took a year off because I'd read that it was better if children spent the first year with their parents. And I kept getting phone calls from these previous partners saying, I'm opening up this new venture. I don't want to work with a company. I want to work with you. Wow. So again, this is just more of a people matter, relationships matter. So I said, well, I'm not working. I'm spending this time with my child. So unless you want me showing up at your company with a baby on my hip, I'm not going to work for you.
Okay.
And a gentleman said, bring the baby.
Get out of here.
Yeah, bring the baby.
Wow.
The baby, I want you. Babies cry. Understand, my child will always be my first priority. That's fine. Bring the baby. So I started taking my little baby with me on every call to every company, helping set up businesses. And for the first 5 years of their lives, we lived internationally all around the world setting up companies. And it was wonderful. I personally believe that a woman can have it all. You can have a family, you can have a career, but you have to have your priorities right. My children and my family have always been my first priority, and every company and every person that I work with knows that. And it's actually been a selling feature, because if I'm like that with my family, it tells you my integrity. It tells you how I think. It tells you what I value. And you know that I'm going to treat you in the same way.
Oh, I agree. No, it does. It tells me a lot. And I actually like that because you let them know up front what you stood for. Right. And they had no choice but to respect that. And so I like that. And I even like even more so that the management welcomed you with the baby. That meant that showed your value, right, in your place. And so that was I like that as well. So that was pretty exciting revelation that they actually said, hey, you know what? This person has value, and so we want to recognize that. So
Let me tell
tell
you
me,
something real
go ahead.
quick on that real quick.
Sure.
It's funny you mentioned value because my mother told me when I was very small, don't put value in people who do not value you. And that has been the way that I have gone about my career, my life, every aspect of it. Because if someone doesn't value you, you shouldn't put much value in them. Relationships are two-sided. And if you're always giving and they're always taking, it's not a relationship, it's abuse. So it's been a wonderful way to look at life and how to go after business and how to build relationships.
No, that's a great nugget. I like that. Are there the type of companies that you set up, was there a certain industry that you focus on more than another, or they're all across the board?
They were all across the board. And people say, well, you don't have a niche market. I said, because business is business. Business is people. People are in every business. Technology is in every business. Process is in every business. You're still baking a cookie. Now, that cookie may have chocolate chips or macadamia nuts in it, or it may be peanut butter flavor, but it's still a cookie. So there's changes along the way for different industries, but they all have those three basic necessities involved.
And tell us, okay, I'm looking here, and so uh, just give us some examples of the types of companies then, if you don't have a specific market.
Sure. We are successful in every industry, but I do a lot of work with fintech. I do a lot of work with government partners, agencies. I do a lot of work with anyone related to sales and marketing, anyone who is in manufacturing as well. I've worked the gamut, but those are probably the four major areas that we work in.
Okay. So let's just use manufacturing, for example. So I'm a manufacturing company, and I'm listening to this right now. What do I need to start working with you?
You need to be willing to answer questions. I can't help you if I don't understand what the issue is. So I need to find out what the problem is so that together we can work on a solution that's going to save you time, money, and allow you to reallocate your resources.
Okay. What kind of questions do I need to be able to answer right now?
What are your goals? What are you wanting to do? What are the roles in your company? Who does them? What technology do you currently use? Are the people happy with the technology? Are they adopting the technology? Where do you see your bottom line, and how profitable are you, and where do you need to be?
Tough questions.
I've done this for a while.
No. Those are tough questions. I don't think a lot of the small businesses can answer all of them.
That does happen. And when they can't answer those, the idea is to help them basically to discover those answers and to figure out what those answers are. Sometimes there isn't an answer yet because they haven't gotten to that point within their business. So we have to put together a plan. And what I'll do is I'll show them examples from people in their industry. Here's what X company did. Here's what Y company did. Here's a hybrid between X and Y. And this is why I believe this is the most successful model. Now, we can try all three of these and then you can pick, or we can take from all three of these to evolve it into something that's perfect for your company. It is a tailor-made suit. It's not something that you buy out of the box. All of our solutions, though they have out-of-the-box pricing, they're not out of the box. They're custom-made to fit each individual customer's needs and wants.
And one thing that I do like that you said was that you take and you look at examples based on the industry that they're in. And I think that's obviously it's super intelligent, but I think that most of us, we're not looking along that route as comparing ourselves to other people in the industry. We just assume what we want based on what we, like our friend, his business does X dollars a year, and we're not looking at industry specific. Why does that matter?
It matters for your success. The best way to say it is just because someone is making money doesn't mean they have the best process, people, or technology in place. A lot of companies make money. They can make more money if they implemented things. So you have to be willing to look at it and go, what's going to make me the highest profit, give me the best results, and allow me to use my resources in the best way. And if you're able to do that and you're open to looking at things from that perspective, you will be successful.
Okay, let's take can we walk through an example of someone that came to you, a small business, and you helped them grow their business? Can you walk through some of the things that you did for them? You don't have to say the company name or anything, but just some,
Sure.
some tangible examples. So someone I heard listening is like, okay, that makes sense. Like I need her today. Like I need you yesterday, right?
I worked with a company that was not in the United States. They wanted to move to the United States market. They had basically outgrown their country. They owned their country as far as the industry that they were in. They
Okay.
had no clue how to come to America, how to open up shop, how to generate revenue, how to generate interest. So what we did was we looked at what they were doing in their country, how it was successful, and then looked at a company in the same industry in the United States, what they were doing and why it was successful. They did not mirror. So some of the processes that they had in place in their country weren't necessary in the United States, and some of the processes that they had in their country could be covered in the United States and the laws. So you have to look at things basically circular when you're trying to do something like that for an organization and see what's going to be most beneficial for them. So we put together a plan that explained no one's going to trust you based on the country you're coming from. You're going to have to become a trusted authority. So before you even think about trying to sell this product, you need to build your brand. You need to build trust. You need to answer questions online, on LinkedIn. When people ask, don't try to sell them at all. Simply ask them the correct questions, give them the best advice, and let them know that you're there as a resource. Once people start seeing your name out there, once you start having those backlinks to articles you've written, to trade shows you've participated in, to programs you've participated in within the community at government levels as well as at educational levels, then you will have trust. Then and only then should you attempt to try to sell. And you can reach out to those people that you gave that free advice to, which, people say that a salesperson stays at a company about 14 months, so they move around a lot. So it's always good to keep in touch with contacts and people you've had a relationship with, even if it wasn't a sale. They're going to move. And when they move, they'll remember that relationship and that free advice and that you weren't trying to sell them, and now you can. They may reach out to you. And that's how we approached this company's business. And when we did that, within 2 years of them moving to the United States, they became profitable. They actually started making more money in their first 2 years in the United States than they were in their previous country after being there for 7 years.
Wow, that's a great story. How did they find you?
They actually found me on LinkedIn. I really wasn't looking for any more clients. I was content. I don't take on more than I can chew, and that's another best advice I can give someone. Growth is great, but poor growth is horrible. You have to pick and choose, and don't be afraid to tell someone, I want to help you, but not now. They will actually typically appreciate that because it's honest and it says to you that I'm not going to offer you subpar service, and I'm not going to offer my customer I have now subpar service because I want to make money. No, I want to help you. Money is, for me, I like money just like anyone else, but money is not my motivation. My motivation is seeing that I was able to assist someone and help them grow and help them be successful. The money will come if you do those things. So it's never been my motivation. It's always been an afterthought. If I think I can help someone, I'll even offer a money back guarantee. You don't pay me until you're successful, because I don't have a problem with it. I have not failed, and the model that I've created is very successful, and I know it works. So I'm not going to fail if I follow this recipe.
Is there a typical size company that you'd like to work with?
I would probably say 10 to 5,000 people. At that point, at the 5,000 level, you have too many C-level people who need to justify their role. And no, it sounds horrible to say, but it's a God honest truth. They don't necessarily want to improve the process of the people or the technology because it may eliminate their role. So it's a very fine line you have to walk, because if you can automate a lot of what people do, they feel that they can't offer value to the organization. So I try to go into those types of situations when it is at a level when there's more than 5,000 employees and say, hey, no, this part of your job isn't necessary, but because we did A, B, and C, now you have these other opportunities in order to expand. You can be reallocated as a resource as well. The company can also start going into this market. But a lot of people get nervous when you do that, because they think that means that you're trying to get rid of them. Whereas the idea is to make the company more money so the employees can make more money and that everyone has a paycheck at the end of the day.
So tell me, now I'm a small business, right? And I'm listening to this. Tell me some of the things that I can do like right now to help me improve, because most of the small businesses listening to my channel, they're listening to learn things in which they can do to improve their business, to win more business, right? And as you know, the economy is kind of taking a turn, and more people are going to be listening to this. What are some things that I could do right now internally to improve if I'm chasing government work?
Change your perspective. When I say that, what I actually mean is look at everyone as a customer. Your employees are customers. If you do not treat them properly, if you do not give them what they need, if you do not respect them, they will leave. Attrition is very expensive to every business, no matter how big or small you are, because you have to retrain someone new. You have to take resources away from something else to bring someone else up to speed. So respect your employees. They are your customers as well. You have internal and external customers. If you treat your employees well, they will be happy to stay a little bit later and do a little bit more work for you. They'll be happy to perhaps take that call on the weekend. They will go out of their way because you have shown them that you respect them. So the most important thing that any small business can do is treat their employees well. You might say, well, what do I need to do? A very simple thing is, it sounds stupid, but I worked for a little company at the time called Monster.com many years ago, and discovered that people were missing work on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
And I said, okay, they're missing work on Tuesdays and Thursdays. How are we going to make people come to work on Tuesdays and Thursdays? Well, we're going to feed them. People like food. They need it in order to have energy. So on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we provided cookies and fruit and better quality coffee. So a barista would come in. A result of that was people never missed work on Tuesday and Thursday. That small little additional cost saved the company about 20%. Yes, it's that significant. Little things matter. Pay attention to details. Remember to send a birthday card. Even if it's an automated birthday card, the fact that the company actually took the little effort to do that, but if you want to show a real appreciation, sign your name to it and have everyone in the company do that. Remember your customers' important events. Take notice to what they say to you. Listen. That doesn't cost a company any money. It's free advice and it works. Listen to people and value them. That's the best thing that I can say to a small business, especially a government contractor. When you're dealing with purchasing authorities, they get called, harassed, bothered all the time, and nobody really listens to them. Nobody actually really talks to them. They talk over them, they talk at them, they talk about the product. Remember, we're human and we're human powered and we have emotions and feelings. Asking someone legitimately how their day was, and if they told you it's a bad day, going, hey, I know we need to deal with this, but it can wait till tomorrow. Would that be better for you? that little act of kindness may win you a bigger deal the next time.
Yeah, I found that when I've been on calls with government people, I've spent a lot of times, 90% of the time, talking about something totally not related to anything government contracting. And
It
like you
makes it,
said, it makes a difference. So that's helpful.
yeah, because people buy from people. This is a relationship, and everyone needs to look at their business like a relationship. You have a work wife, a work husband, sister-in-law.
Yep.
They're all at
Yes.
work, and you need to maintain those relationships.
No, I like that. I think that's great. I know it's it's some of those simple truths that we all kind of know in the back of our hand. Almost like the person that was, washing their hands out that bathroom from the airport. But I think that we are so focused on strategies and uh, saying the right things and getting our message out there that we forget about the person.
Agreed. It's a very big deal when you don't acknowledge someone as an individual and their contributions, their value, their work. And it can change the outcome of your business and their business. I had someone that, just to give you a little feedback on that particular point, I told a customer, I'm sorry, I'm not the right solution for you. Here are who I would suggest based on your needs. They were ready to buy from me, but it would have been over what they needed. And I'm not for ripping people off. I have one name. It's a unique name. There's not a lot of Marvinas out there. There's definitely only one Marvina Case. And I don't do anything that's going to damage or soil my brand and my name. So I said, I'm sorry. I'm not accepting this because it's not what's best for you. It's not in the best interest of your company at this time. The gentleman took off his glasses. He looked deep into my eyes and he just said, wow. And he said, this is who you would recommend? Yes, this is who I would contact. You let them know that I forward over the notes with your permission on what I suggest for them to do for you. And then you go from there. If you have any questions in that process, you can definitely reach out to me. And a year and a half later, I get a phone call. He had moved to another company and he goes, I'm in the right company for your solution. You don't need to sell me. I'm ready to buy. Relationships, they matter.
I love it. I love it. You sold me. I might need to buy your services. Look, we're gonna talk offline when we finish this podcast. No, I like that. And again, I mean, I'm reading through your LinkedIn profile. By the way, if you haven't, make sure to check out her LinkedIn profile. It opens up to a lot more than what we're discussing today. A lot more than I'm sure we can cover in a 45-minute interview. She's run the gamut of companies, and I mean, I've never seen one's profile this extensive. So, tell us, tell us some more. Tell us some more good stuff. I mean, you've done some amazing things. People like hearing stories. So, talk to me about. And we talked about the international company. Tell me about, you said you work with, I love the monster.com example. That was really good. Most of the persons that are listening, well, I shouldn't even say that anymore because I've had some larger companies reach out to me that we know something I didn't know was that some of the larger companies, and that you mentioned before, they don't actually have training for their sales directors or the directors of federal business. They don't have any type of training for them in place. So they're put in this position to handle like the federal government business without a whole lot of training. Can you help those kind of people?
Yes, I can. A lot of things have to be done with training. There's nothing worse than having someone call you and them not know what they're talking about, not understand what they're talking about, and still attempt to sell you and talk over you. We've all had that happen with telemarketers, whether it's personal or business related. If you set up your foundation properly, if you train the people in the beginning, you will build a strong business, you will build a strong bond, you will build a strong building. If you do not, and that foundation is poor, it's going to fall. So training is extremely important. That's something that we can definitely help companies with. We do have different training programs, from general sales to selling to the government to just learning how to listen. Because it's a skill that, believe it or not, many people don't have. They talk, they don't listen. And when they do listen, they only listen for buzzwords and not the important things. Sometimes it's not what is said, it's what's not said. And you have to have the ability to be able to understand that and take that information and utilize it in order to help your clients.
Yeah, I'm looking here on your website now, and it talks about Smart CRM, intelligent calling, review and reputation management. You want to talk about any of those particular programs specifically?
They're all individual programs, and
Okay.
again, our solutions are custom made. So I can tell you generally what they do, which is what's listed on the website. We have a CRM, and it's a living CRM. What that means is it involves human, machine learning, and AI. We can set it up on your LinkedIn or on your email, where people won't actually talk to you until there's a time when they need to talk to you. It will mirror how you think, it will mirror how you write, and they won't know that they're not talking to a person, because it takes the information that you've done, all of the writings that you've done that are on the internet, all of your personality assessments, any type of profiles, and it creates an electronic version of you and communicates. So you don't actually talk to someone until it's to a point where it's time to hand it off to a human. So people, it's a CRM, but I hate to call it just a CRM, because it's not. It is an intelligent, living system that acts as you and does so flawlessly, even down to the common mistakes that you make in grammar.
Oh, I need something like that. I make a lot of mistakes. And if they ain't talk too perfect, they're gonna know it's not me. So that's good.
They're like, oh, this is no, because seriously, I mean, I tested it on myself, and I was like, I would write that sentence that exact same way.
Wow.
I would say that like that. I would pull, I mean, it had it down to, typically when I talk to someone, the process is very simple. Why you? Why me? Why now? I don't like to waste time. I don't have time to waste, and I think most people don't. So let's just cut to the chase. Why do we need to talk? What's important for you? What's important for me? And why do we need to do this now? So this system picked up on how I think, how I write, and it writes like that. That's me.
Now, tell me about, let's go into intelligent calling.
Basically, instead of just making random phone calls, have you ever, I'm sure you've done this, but had a call from, say, like a utility company or a credit card company, and you've had a problem, and you've told it to one person.
Okay.
And then they tell you, I can't help you with that. We have to get you to a level 2 representative.
Yes.
Then you have to retell that same conversation that you just had with the previous representative
Yes.
to the next. They don't have the notes. They don't have the information. Intelligent calling allows them to know exactly what's going on at that exact moment. So when you transfer it to that manager, that second level representative, they're able to know where you are, what's going on, and continue that conversation instead of having to have you rehash it and you be annoyed and spend an extra half an hour talking to someone. It keeps all the notes from the beginning to the end.
That sounds like a solution for a larger company.
It's a solution for a larger company. It's also a solution for a smaller company, because if you do things right when you're little, you will grow fast. Customer service is king Customer experience is king. And if people put the effort in at the beginning, they will grow a lot faster and people will be happy with them. Now, granted, people don't tell as many people when they're happy, but if you offer poor customer service, they will tell everyone. So it's very important to take the time and to build out your solutions. If you're going to start a business or if you're in business now, take the time, spend the effort, spend the money on getting your processes in place and putting things down on paper that you follow. Make your Bible.
I like that. No, I mean, like I said, I agree with you. I think that we could do a much better job in those areas myself.
There's room for improvement in every situation. And what I will say, and I know a lot of people don't like saying this, I learn from my customers. I take things that I learn from one customer to another customer, and I share that information because it just makes everyone's business better. One of the best success stories I have is I worked for, this is actually another monster.com, and I was struggling. I was a sales rep for them, and I got Orange County, California as the area that I was working in. And I was struggling. It was at the recession, the 2000, between 2005 and 2008, things weren't that great, and nobody wanted to do advertising. And I kept calling people, and all the processes that I had that normally worked were failing. I was coming in on Saturday. I was coming in early in the morning, staying late, trying to figure out what am I doing wrong. And the janitor at the building that I worked at the monster.com building, comes up to me. He goes, I see you here before dawn and I see you here after it's dark. What are you doing? And I said, I'm trying to do my job and I've never not been successful and I don't understand what I'm doing wrong. And he says, who are you reaching out to? I said, well, I have the service sector for Orange County and I can't even get them on the phone. And he said, oh, so people like me. I said, yes, people like you. And he said, well, what time are you calling? I said, between 8 and 5. He was like, we are working class people, honey. We're working. You're never going to get us between 8 and 5. You need to call at 5 o'clock in the morning and at 7 o'clock at night. Now, when they pick up the phone, they're probably going to think you're their wife or a child. So just understand that they might be taken aback, but you go ahead and call them. I started doing that, and I started closing business. I would get things like, hi, honey. And I said, well, I don't know you yet. It's a little early to call me honey, but nice to speak with you. And you build rapport, and they laugh, and you close business. So that advice from a janitor actually made me the most successful rep that year.
Nice. I like it. No, that's good stuff. So now, how many is there? I'm trying to find out because I want people that are listening to this to be able to. What I want to do, and I always do this with everyone, is that I don't want obviously everyone reaching out to you, but is that you said across all industries from 10 to 5,000 persons, companies. When I call you, you gave us the questions I should be able to ask. Is there anything else I need to know before we reach out to see if we might be the right fit?
No, not really. There's not anything that you really need to know. When you come to a company like mine, my job is to look at what you're doing and to figure out how to improve those processes. So if you don't know the answers to those questions, that's fine. We'll discover them together. But you just have to have a want to make more money to be more successful and to have happier employees. If you have those desires, then we can work through it.
Okay, very good. Part of what you mentioned in the beginning was LinkedIn. Are there any things that you see that most of us are making mistakes in our LinkedIn profiles or with our businesses on LinkedIn, or maybe not even using LinkedIn at all? Can you talk to us about that?
Yeah, there's, if you have a LinkedIn profile, show yourself in it. And I know that sounds like a strange thing to say, but show yourself, be yourself in there. You don't have to have the I like to call it the real estate picture. where they're doing this.
Uh-huh.
You don't have to have that as your profile picture. You don't have to. You need to show that you're human, that you're a real person, because again, I've said this before, but people buy from people. Personality matters. Let people know a little bit about yourself. Now, I'm not saying go off and be all super political or religious or, tell them everything about you and your children. But what I am saying is show that you are a real person and that you have a life and what you can offer, not just what your job says. They can look up and see you work for X company. They can look up the product, but they can't look up and know you. So give them a little information about how you think, what you want to do for them, and how the relationship is going to be beneficial. Show some synergy. Learn how to connect with people. And when you write articles on LinkedIn, when you communicate on LinkedIn, make sure you use your hashtags. Every post that you do, and I will say that I have on occasion not followed my own advice, but every post that you do should have 5 hashtags as a minimum, because you want people to be able to look for those hashtags. And they do, especially the younger generation. Anyone, under 30, they look for that. They'll find something like, for example, female empowerment. You click on that, it's going to pull up tons of articles and posts. You use that information in order to gain following, to gain customers, to gain credibility. So if you use those hashtags, it will help your business grow.
I like it. I like it. Any other mistakes that you see people doing on LinkedIn besides that?
I personally think, this is just my personal experience, I think that they don't accept connections enough.
Ah, okay.
How do you know? Yeah, I know that there's a lot of connections that come in, and everyone is not someone you want to connect with. But just understand, you can connect with them, and if they're not the right person, you can also unconnect with them.
Okay.
Look at everything as an opportunity. Some people have value, and not in the sense that maybe you want to have a relationship with them, but look at their network. If someone has 25,000 connections and they're your connection, when you write something, you now have a larger audience. So don't turn down people that may help you succeed. No one's saying you need to go marry them and buy them dinner or anything like that, but at least have that conversation, that connection where they live on the block, because that's going to introduce you to the neighbor that might actually have some value and might actually be willing to do something for you.
Right. No, that's good. Do you train out BD teams or capture teams for companies?
Yes, we do. Let me just give you a full overview of what Sweetspot does. We do a variety of things, what you see on our website, but something else that we do that we're building right now is we're building a portal that allows government contractors and small businesses who may not have the ability to be able to sell to the federal government because they're not involved with SAM.gov, they're not on TIPS, they're not registered with every state. Sweetspot is registered with every state, can sell on SAM.gov, can sell on TIPS. I can work with you as a partner and do a joint venture, and you can gain access to business that you would not have access to due to the different levels of business that I can do with the federal government. So I build relationships, and I want my customers, whether they're federal or whether they're commercial, to have the best product. If you have a product that is amazing and you're having an inability to be able to sell it, but it's the best product that can be used by my customers, and you think that's the case, reach out to me, because we can make that work. Again, my job is to help my customers be successful. And if your product is the best, then we can build a relationship that's going to be beneficial for everyone.
Okay. All right. Definitely got some folks I want to connect you with out here. Well, that makes a lot of sense. Well, we're coming up to our hour mark, so I want to be respectful of your time as always. Any final remarks you want to leave out there to folks listening to this?
People buy from people. People-centric everything. Human-powered everything. Technology is amazing, but it's only as good as the people that use it. Adoption is key.
Thank you for that. And Marvina, thank you so much for coming on today. I appreciate you sharing your insights. And also, we'll make sure to connect your website, all of your social handles. Is there a place that you prefer being people reaching out to you? LinkedIn?
I'm fine no matter how you reach out to me. I'll never turn someone down.
So
If you want to talk to me, I'll talk to you.
that's what I'm talking about. I like that. No, that's good. I appreciate that. So all of her information is here. We're going to have the link to her website as well, her LinkedIn profile, and all the other social handles she's provided us with. So definitely, again, make sure to have those questions answered. Please, 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 please be respectful and courteous. If you don't have them all answered, at least you know and you're prepared so that you can say that up front. But you know the questions she's looking for. Can you remind us what those questions are, Marvina?
Sure, you need to basically understand your business. That's the bottom line. And if you don't understand your business, I'll help you understand it. But you want to know what you want, how you want it, when you want it, what your customers need, what your employees like and dislike about your current system, and how you feel we can improve it, and basically what's holding you back. And if you can't answer all of those questions, that's fine. We can figure that out together. But if you have an idea, it makes things a lot easier.
There you go. All right, Marvina, thank you so much for coming on today. We appreciate your time. And thank you for sharing all the information and your insights and all of your experiences over the last time of your career. I won't say how much time it was, but they can find out on your LinkedIn profile.
I'm happy, Eric. I've got 24 years in.
There you go.
Look, every day above ground is a good day.
All right, there you go. Every day above ground is a good day. I'll take it. No, and I like that because, as you said, show your personality. So thanks so much. And thank you for coming on today.
Thank you.